Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, we are reading from Sri Caitanya Caritamrita Adi-Lila, chapter 5. Text 41, we have been reading the purport, the amazing purport by Srila Prabhupada. The verse is that the Chaturvyuha, they are transcendental. Anirudh, Vasudev, Anirudh, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, they are transcendental, they are not material. So we'll continue with the purport by Srila Prabhupada. Considering all these points, one should understand that Shankaracharya's statement that Sankarshan is born as a jiva is completely against the Vedic statements. These assertions are completely refuted by the above arguments. In this connection, the commentary of Sridhar Swami on Srimad Bhagavatam 3.134 is very helpful. So Prabhupada has been giving us so many evidences that the jiva is eternal. The jiva is never born at a certain time, because if the jiva is born, that means he's going to die. But all the Vedic scriptures boldly declare that the jiva is eternal. So for a detailed refutation of Sankaracharya's arguments attempting to prove Sankarshan as an ordinary living being, one may refer to Srimad Sudarshanacharya's commentary on the Sri Bhashya. Sri Bhashya, which is known as the Shruta Prakashika. Okay, if anyone wants to do this further study to refute the argument of Adi Shankaracharya, that Sankarshan is an ordinary living entity, then one can study this book, Srimad, Sri Bhash, refer to Srimad's commentary on Sri Bhash. Okay, Shruta Prakashika. The book Shruta Prakashika, it is a commentary on Sri Bhashya, which is by Srimad Sudarshan Acharya. Okay, so then reading on. The original quadruple forms Krishna, Baladev, Pradyumna and Anirudh expand into another quadruple, which is present in the Vaikuntha planets of the spiritual sky. Therefore, the quadruple forms in the spiritual sky are the second manifestation of the original quadruple in Dwarka. So Krishna is there himself, then he is expanding himself, right, into Balaramji. That's the first expansion. Then what happens? Then there are these quadruple. There is Krishna, Balaram, Pradyumna, and Anirudh. They are the first quadruple expansions, first Chaturvyuha expansions. And they are living where? In Dwarka. They are living in Dwarka. They also in the spiritual sky. The highest planet in the spiritual sky, Golok Vrindavan, it has the Dwarka portion and it has the Vrindavan portion. So in the Dwarka portion, they are living. Like how we have, we have the Earth planet, then you have different countries in the Earth planet. No, different. And even in the same country, you have the different states are there. So it's like that. And then second quadruple expansions, then again they expand into Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna and Anirudh. And where are those? They are in the Vaikuntha planets. They are in the Vaikuntha planets. So as explained above, Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna and Anirudh are all changeless, transcendental, plenary expansions of the Supreme Lord who have no relation to the material modes. So they are all transcendental. They are not material. Their form is Satchid Ananda. They are not in Maya. They are completely transcendental. The Sankarshan form in the second quadruple is not only a representation of Balaram, but also the original cause of the causal ocean, where Karanadakshai Vishnu lies asleep, breathing out the seeds of innumerable universes. So the second quadruple, Sankarshan, from the second quadruple, he is represents Balaramji, right? Sankarshan represents Balaramji. But also it's from this Sankarshan, the second quadruple Sankarshan, that the causal ocean, the Karana ocean is created. The Karana ocean comes from this. Karana ocean, well, I shouldn't say created, but the Karana ocean is coming from Sankarshan. He's the cause of the causal ocean. And what is this Karana ocean? It is on this ocean that Mahavishnu lies down, and from his pores of his body, millions of material universes are coming out just by his breathing. So in the spiritual sky, there is a spiritual creative energy technically called Shuddha Sattva, which is pure spiritual energy that sustains all the Vaikuntha planets with the full opulences of knowledge, wealth, prowess, etc. So in the spiritual world, the spiritual energy is acting. In the material world, the material energy is acting. Maya Devi is acting in the material world. Spiritual energy is acting in the spiritual world. The spiritual energy, and what happens with the spiritual energy? Everywhere in the spiritual world, there is all the opulences are there, all knowledge, all fame, all beauty, all strength, all renunciation. It's called Shuddha Sattva, pure goodness. Shuddha Sattva. There is no tinge of material goodness or passion or ignorance. All these actions of Shuddha Sattva display the potencies of Mahasankarshan, who is the ultimate reservoir of all individual living entities who are suffering in the material world. So, and all this is coming from Mahasankarshan. Mahasankarshan is all these actions of Shuddha Sattva display the potencies of Mahasankarshan. So Mahasankarshan is the one from who all this Shuddha Sattva, this spiritual, all these actions of Shuddha Sattva display the potencies of So all that we are seeing in the spiritual world, it is all this power, it's all the potencies of Mahasankarshan. Whatever we are seeing, all the opulence there, the eternity, the bliss, everything it's a potency of Mahasankarshan. So when the cosmic creation is annihilated, the living entities who are indestructible by nature rest in the body of Mahasankarshan. Sankarshan is therefore sometimes called the total jiva. So what happens is when all the universes, the whole material cosmic manifestation is to be annihilated. What happens? Everything enters into the body of Mahavishnu. So where do we living entities we go? Does it mean we are destroyed? No, we are not destroyed. We are just sleeping in the body of Mahavishnu as individuals. So we can try to understand a bit of it as when we sleep at night. When we are sleeping at night, we still remain individuals. It's not that we get mixed up with the other people who are sleeping in the same house or the same room as us. No, we continue remaining individuals. And when we wake up, we continue with our activity. Similarly, when this material manifestation comes to an end, when Mahavishnu is breathing in, everything enters into his body. Everyone is lying asleep in his body. And when the material creation again starts, we are again put into these various universes to again perform whatever activities we have based on our desires, all based on our desires. So it's just like when the annihilation happens, we are sleeping for a longer time, and at night, our night here, we are sleeping for a few hours. It's just like that. But we are individuals, and any condition and every condition, we are individual souls. Individuals, we are never going to not be an individual. Never at any point of time were we not individuals, that we are not, we won't be individuals in the future. So as spiritual sparks, the living entities have the tendency to be inactive in the association of the material energy, just as sparks of a fire have the tendency to be extinguished as soon as they leave the fire. The spiritual nature of the living being can be rekindled, however, in association with the Supreme Being. Because the living being can appear either in matter or in spirit, the jiva is called the marginal potency. So why we living entities, the jivas, we are called marginal potency of the Lord. Why? Because we have the tendency sometimes to be in spiritual nature and sometimes we can be in the material nature. Depends. So when we are in the spiritual nature, then we are acting in our true platform because we are spiritual beings. So then we are acting in our original consciousness. But what happens when we are in the material atmosphere, when we are in the material world, then we start identifying as something that we are not. We are spiritual, but because we are in the material world, we start thinking, oh, I'm the body. So that's why it said that the Jivatma is inactive in the association of material energy. Because in this material world, we are thinking we are the body. And so we are doing everything is for the body, not for who we truly are. So how do we revive our spiritual nature? How can we revive it? When we associate with the Supreme Being. And what does that mean? Chant the Hare Krishna mantra. The Lord is absolute. There is no difference between his name, fame, form, paraphernalia, pastimes. So hearing and chanting about Krishna, we are associating with him. Hearing about the absolute, chanting his glories, we are being with the absolute. Sankarshan is the origin of Karana Vishnu, who is the original form who creates the universes. And that Sankarshan is but a plenary expansion of Sri Nityananda Ram. So we heard the greatness of Sankarshan. Sankarshan, so Karana Vishnu, he is coming from Sankarshan. Karana Vishnu is the Vishnu who is lying down on the Karana ocean, from whose body all these universes are coming. And inside each universe, there are millions of planets, and inside each planet, there are so many living entities. So where it's all coming from? This Karana Dakshai Vishnu. Karana Dakshai Vishnu is coming from, he's an expansion of Sankarshan. And Sankarshan, who is Sankarshan? He is a plenary expansion of Nityananda Ram. Plenary expansion of Srila Nityananda Ram. So this is the greatness of Lord Nityananda. He's Balaramji himself. He's Balaramji himself. And he is under his order, this whole material world is being manifested and it's being annihilated. So we'll stop here for today. Are there any questions or comments? That brings us to the end of this purport of text 41. So we can see how Prabhupada has taken such great pains, so much research he's done, giving us so much evidence to explain to us this verse, that is Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, and Anirudh constitute this second quadruple. They are purely transcendental. That the Chaturvyuha, they are transcendental, they are eternal, not material. So thank you so much for listening in and joining in. Shri Caitanya Caritamrita ki jai, Shila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna.